Let us talk about Scott. Where in the world has Scott been while this entire town has been turned upside down? Am I the only one losing my mind over this? We are talking about a man who is the very fabric of this show. Scott is a legend, a rogue with a heart of gold, a man who has given us decades of laughter, tears, and unforgettable drama. Keeping him off our screens during all this chaos, while his loved ones are suffering, is a massive disrespect to the fans. We have been sitting here week after week, watching absolute strangers eat up screen time, while one of our most beloved veterans is just nowhere to be found. Um, it has been driving me absolutely crazy. But, ladies, take a deep breath, because our prayers have finally been answered. Scott is coming back. Yes. The spoilers are heavily pointing to Scott making his highly anticipated, long overdue return to Port Charles, and he is coming back exactly when the town needs him the most. I cannot even begin to tell you how happy this makes me. Just the thought of seeing his face, hearing his sarcastic remarks, and watching him shake up the dynamic in town brings tears to my eyes. This is the kind of legacy respect we have been begging for, and I'm so ready to welcome him back with open arms. And if Scott coming back was not enough to make you jump right off your couch, brace yourselves, because he is not coming alone. Serena's coming back too. I am utterly speechless at this point. Serena, it has been entirely too long since we have seen Scott's beautiful daughter on our screens. She is a legacy child carrying the history of some of the greatest characters this show has ever seen, and the fact that they are bringing her back now is just incredible. I have been saying for years that they need to anchor Scott with his family, and bringing Serena back is the perfect way to do it. Now, the spoilers do mention that Serena will be returning with a brand new actress stepping into the role. I know, we older fans always get a little nervous when it comes to recasts. We get so attached to the faces we know and love. But let us be honest, if this recast means we finally get Serena back in the mix, interacting with her father and building new relationships in town, I am all for it. I am willing to give this new girl a chance because the potential for rich, emotional family storytelling is just too good to pass up. We need the younger legacy generation to step up, and Serena is the perfect character to do exactly that. However, my friends, we have to take a very dark and painful turn now, because while I am thrilled about Scott and Serena, I am absolutely devastated for Liesel. Prepare yourselves for a heart-wrenching betrayal of everything Liesel has fought for. Just when we thought Liesel might finally find some peace and stability, the rug is going to be ripped right out from under her in the most brutal way possible. The spoilers are pointing directly to a massive, deadly confrontation, and it looks like Cassius is not going to make it out alive. Yes, you heard me right. Cassius is likely going to be killed after a terrifying showdown with Ross. I cannot believe they are doing this. Poor, complicated Cassius, who has been trying so hard to navigate this absolute nightmare, is going to meet a tragic end at the hands of that monster Ross. I am literally shaking just thinking about it. Ross has been a plague on this town, destroying everything in his path, and now he's going to take Cassius away permanently. It is a devastating blow, and the ripple effects are going to shatter the canvas. My heart just shatters into a million pieces for Liesel. How much more pain do these writers expect this woman to endure? She has lost so much already. She has grieved, she has fought, she has clawed her way back from the brink of despair time and time again. Losing Cassius in such a violent, senseless way is going to push her right back into the darkness. I can already see the scenes in my head, Liesel breaking down, her entire world collapsing around her, the sheer agony of having to say goodbye to someone else she cared about. It is almost too much to bear. This is exactly why I call it outrageous writing sometimes, because they love to torture Liesel. But, and this is a huge, glorious but, this tragedy is exactly what paves the way for Scott's return. Scott is going to come back right as Liesel is facing this massive shock. He is going to walk through those doors just as she is falling apart, and he is going to be the one to catch her. I am crying just thinking about it. This is the emotional payoff we have been waiting for. Do you remember when Scott and Liesel were together before? The pure magic they had? They were the most unexpected, brilliant, hilarious, and deeply moving pairing we had seen in years. Scott understands Liesel's darkness, and he never judges her for it. He brings out her light, her humor, and her heart. When Cassius dies, Liesel is going to want to burn the world down, but Scott is going to be her rock. He is going to hold her together just like he did in the past, becoming her ultimate emotional support. This is the romance we deserve, guys. And let me tell you, it is about time somebody takes out the absolute garbage that is Ross and Jens. The spoilers tease that if Ross and Jens are finally destroyed or locked away in a dark cell where they belong, the massive threat that has been suffocating this town will be completely neutralized. Good riddance. I am so incredibly sick and tired of these two villains running around, terrorizing our favorites, and getting away with it week after week. It has been exhausting to watch, and seeing them finally face justice is going to be the most satisfying moment of the year. Once Jens and Ross are permanently dealt with, the dark cloud hanging over everyone will lift. The danger will be gone. And do you know what that means? Do you realize the massive implication of this threat being over? Brit can come home. Yes, our beautiful, snarky, brilliant Brit can finally come out of hiding. I am literally screaming at my screen right now. The only reason Brit has been on the run, living in fear, is because of the danger these monsters posed. With them gone, she is free. Imagine the reunion between Liesel and Brit! After losing Cassius, Liesel is going to think she has nothing left, but then her beloved daughter will walk through the door, safe and sound. The tears, the hugging, the absolute relief, it is going to be television gold. Brit returning to Port Charles is the ultimate healing balm that Liesel needs to survive the trauma of losing Cassius. It completely flips the script from a tragedy to a story of profound survival and family reunion. And this brings me to the most beautiful, hopeful part of these spoilers. If everything aligns, we are looking at the creation of the most incredible blended family. Think about it, ladies. Scott and Liesel finding their way back to each other, stronger and more in love than ever. Serena returning to town, reconnecting with her father, and getting to know Liesel. Britt coming back, stepping into her rightful place, and suddenly Serena and Britt are basically stepsisters. I cannot handle how perfect this is. After all the bi-coastal drama, the kidnappings, the murders, and the endless tears, this is the happy ending we have been fighting for. Scott gets his daughter back and the love of his life. Liesel gets her daughter back and the man who truly understands her soul. They can build a new life together, a chaotic, snarky, fiercely loyal family unit that will take Port Charles by storm. I swear to you, if the writers actually pull this off and give us this beautifully blended family, I will forgive them for ruining the character arc over the last few months. It is time for Scott to be happy. It is time for Liesel to be loved. It is time for Britt and Serena to shine. I am going to be glued to my television every single day, waiting for this to unfold. Let me know in the comments if you are as wildly excited as I am, because my heart simply cannot take this much anticipation.